Residential report writing and case studies. Chapter 8, disclosures of scope of work and something with an A. FHA inspection. FHA and VA require that appraisers use the Fannie Mae suite of forms to report appraisals. As you are undoubtedly aware, an FHA or VA appraisal inspection is more in-depth than the minimum visual inspection required by Fannie Mae. We previously covered an example of a disclosure of the extent of an FHA appraisal inspection. When disclosing scope of work, both the work that was performed and the work that was not performed, it may be useful and appropriate for an appraiser to reference the guidelines and requirements of the client or intended users. For example, in an FHA appraisal, inserting a direct quotation from HUD Handbook 4000.1 may help clarify what the appraiser does and does not do. As per HUD Handbook 4000.1, FHA appraisals are no guarantee that the property is free from defects. The appraisal only establishes the value of the property for mortgage insurance purposes. Buyers need to secure their own home inspections through the services of a qualified inspector and satisfy themselves about the condition of the property. With this disclosure, the intended user should understand the extent of the appraiser's inspection. For instance, it is not equivalent to an inspection by a qualified home inspector. End of page. Additional simple client requirements. Many mortgage lenders and appraisal management companies have become increasingly concerned about mortgage and valuation fraud and have begun requiring additional research and analysis by appraisers. These requirements typically will increase the scope of work and require the appraiser to explain and disclose. Even though some of these client-specific requirements may take a lot of work to complete, they are often rather simple and easy to report. For example, a lender who is concerned about property flipping may require the appraiser to research a 5-year sales history on the subject property and comparable sales. An appraiser could simply insert this statement in the comment section below the sales history grid. The scope of work of this appraisal included researching and analyzing a 5-year sales history of the subject property and comparable sales. You probably could say it even more succinctly if you wanted. It is not necessary for a scope of work disclosure to be lengthy or technical. In fact, the best disclosures are stated simply in plain language. End of page. More complex client requirements. Some client-specified assignment conditions are not quite so simple to disclose. They require a bit of explanation. Omitting an approach to value requires the disclosure and explanation. It does not matter whose decision it was, the appraisers or the clients. Remember, if an approach is necessary for credible assignment results, it cannot be omitted, no matter what the client asks for. The explanation can be simple. The cost approach was not deemed necessary for credible assignment results for this intended use. Therefore, it is not developed. Or it can be more detailed. The appraiser has considered the income approach in this assignment. The subject is a single-family dwelling, and there is insufficient rental data for similar homes in this market area to produce a reliable estimate of market rent for the subject and a GRM. Because it could not be reliably developed, the income approach has been omitted in this appraisal. Sometimes, though, the opposite happens. The client may require the appraiser to complete an approach to value which the appraiser considers unnecessary or meaningless. In this situation, the appraiser must make an accurate disclosure in order to avoid producing a misleading report. End of page.